Hello, everyone. Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in. We're going to hear from SUNY Fredonia today. We have a live representative with us, Mr. Brandon Williamson. Please drop your comments and questions in our chat box as we will be chatting with him live today and taking a virtual tour with Fredonia. Enjoy. Hello, Mr. Brandon Williamson. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here today. How are you?
I'm well, and you?
I'm not bad at all. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to talk a little bit about Fredonia itself and ready to go.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right. So, good. We're going to dive in. So just to give you a little background about myself, I'm one of the admissions counselors here at Fredonia. You will see me in the Buffalo area. I recruit for all of Erie County as well as in many cases, the Hudson Valley and other areas, but primarily right here in Erie and Niagara County. So you will hear from me. You will see me. If you've heard about Fredonia, you've seen anything from Fredonia, you know that I'm the face you're going to see. So to give you a background about myself, I actually graduated from Fredonia. My parents both also graduated from Fredonia as well. So I'm a legacy. My wife also graduated from Fredonia. My cousin and his wife also graduated from Fredonia as well. So as you can imagine, Fredonia kind of runs in my family. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm here to answer any and all the questions you have about Fredonia and anything that piques your interest. So with that, I'm going to dive in and talk a little bit about Fredonia itself. So we're going to pull up a PowerPoint here, and welcome to the Fredonia experience. So we are a liberal arts college, and we're sitting on approximately 256 acres of land that span from, of course, being on campus to our college lodge up in the hills of Brockton, which gives you access to walking trails and waterfalls and things like that out there if you want to go with a student group. And a lot of our student groups like to do ropes courses and retreats and things like that out in the college lodge area. And that's about 12 minutes outside of campus. And that's accessible to you all as students, as well as our business and technology incubator, where we actually bring in upstarting businesses and we actually give them the supplies and the resources they need to start their business. We keep tabs on records on what the resources they use and how they use them and so on and so forth. And we dive forward with that, and they get to experience, basically the feeling of running a business, and whether they succeed or don't succeed, we keep the techniques and we keep the data for our records for our business school as well. So we have all of that available to you. Okay. Also, we are a liberal arts college, which means that although we specialize in a lot of programs from music, education, to visual arts and media, to biology, to everything else that you're going to see on our later slides, we are also going to take your general education classes as well. So you're going to take your Englishes, your sciences, your histories, your maths, all the classes that make you a well-rounded student by the time you leave. Okay, that's really important because our biggest goal here in Fredonia isn't necessarily for you to leave with your degree. We want you to have a great college experience as well. But you coming from the Buffalo area, we acknowledge that you are going to step away from everything else that you're familiar with. You're going to step away from home. You're going to come out to a place like Fredonia where you're going to get a chance to step away from everything else. So you can focus on the experience of just being a college student. So you don't have to worry about the hustle and bustle of family life or anything outside of that. It's just you and your experience right there on campus. So you can recreate or rebuild yourself however you desire. Meanwhile, we're close enough away from Buffalo that you are close enough that you can always come home whenever you want to as well. So when it comes to the transportation, we are only about 45 minutes outside of Buffalo. So you hop on the 90, you go down 45 minutes, you're in Fredonia, and you're about 2 minutes from the campus itself, okay? So you have us, you're far enough away that you can kind of stand on your own 2 feet and really do your own thing, but you're close enough, you can always come home whenever you want to as well. So those are the best of both worlds. So you get to be close to home, but you really get the experience of just stepping away from it. But also, another thing that we acknowledge is, once again, you're stepping away from everything. So you're coming onto our campus. We want to make sure you learn as much about yourself in the process as well, because we are an educational facility. And that doesn't necessarily just mean that we want to teach you the book smarts. We want to teach you everything in your major, but we want you to learn about yourself. And that's where we have our student groups. We have over 180 student groups that span from the most mundane to the most ridiculous. And that goes from, we have a cappella singing groups. For those of you who are singers out there who don't necessarily major in music, you can dive into a cappella singing groups. You can get involved in our PAC, Performing Arts Company, which is our student-run theater company on campus. If you're a dancer and you don't necessarily want to major in dance, but you just want to dance to keep yourself fresh, you can definitely get involved with our orchestras organization, which is a student-run dance organization on campus. We also have Blue Ice, our dance team. We have a handful of other things we have available for you to get involved in while you're on campus. That also includes our Quidditch team. They play Quidditch on campus with broomsticks and capes and so on and so forth. To our LARPing, live action role playing with the foam shields and swords, and have Camelot style battles on the hill, all the way up to our Days of Our Life Club, which is exactly what it sounds like. They record soap operas throughout the week, and they watch them in a marathon on Saturday. So if there's something you're interested in, odds are we probably have it as a group. If not, you can create it as a group as well, as long as you can get a group of friends together and you're an academic advisor, a professor, or someone who's willing to support you on this. Then it's just that simple to get a group together. Okay, as you can see on our screen here, we have our undergraduate majors. So these are all the different programs and majors that we have available for you that start in visual arts. So if you're going visual arts to new media, we can go Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Fine Arts, BA or BFA, as you can see on there. We specialize in our most popular visual art program is animation and illustration. That is the program that fills up the fastest because we know that that is a program that is in high demand out in the world today. Okay, and then of course biology, we have a brand new science center. We just opened about 5 years ago. We have Bill Nye cut the ribbon and everything. And with biology, you have programs that can span from going into biology, going into research. Most of our professors are actually actively doing research. So by the time you graduate, you could find yourself, published right alongside your professor by the time you leave. Okay, exercise science, if you're going to go into athletic training or physical therapy or occupational therapy or something along those lines, exercise science is the path you want to take, okay? Medical technology or molecular genetics, which obviously goes more into lab work, but also includes our pre-professional programs on the far right of your screen as well, which include pre-dental, pre-pharmacy, pre-vet, pre-optometry, and pre-med as well. So those of you who are going to medical school, we have a pre-med track. So you're going to work with our pre-med department. They're going to work with you to make sure you're taking all the classes you need to get into and be successful in whatever style of medical school you want to go into, whether you're going into pediatrics or anesthesiology or going into surgical, so on and so forth. We want to prepare you specifically what path you want to go down. Okay, the same thing applies for the other programs that we have in there that are pre-professional as well. And what's not listed there is also pre-law. Pre-law we have pre-law under business, history, English, business, history, criminal justice, and political science or politics and international studies as well. Okay, so you have those available for you as well. Okay, and of course, what we all know Fredonia is known for, we're known for our schools of music as well as our schools of education. So with education, we started back in 1826 as a teaching college. We've been doing it ever since. So we're really good at it. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to throw you right into a classroom so you know what you're getting yourself into, because you should know what you're getting yourself into. Okay, and that goes from adolescent education to early childhood education to childhood education and dual certifications, childhood inclusive education. If you have someone who's going into special education as well. And then of course we have music. Music is what we specialize in. It's what we're known for across the state and also across the country. We are one of the top music schools that you will find anywhere nearby or anywhere far away as well. And so with that, if you're going into music itself, we're going to put you through an audition process. But for music, visual art, theater, and dance, we are going to have to put you through an audition or a portfolio process. So with the School of Music, they want to make sure that you are at a certain level when it comes to your understanding of music theory, as well as your understanding of music performance. So whether you go music education, music therapy, whether you go music performance, whether you go music composition or sound recording technology, or whatever piques your interest in our School of Music, you're going to have to audition for it, okay? Same thing applies for theater, goes for theater, arts, as well as acting, performance, musical theater, and so on and so forth. Your auditions are all going to be different, but you'll cross that bridge when we get to it, okay? Let's do a deeper dive into Fredonia itself, okay? So you need 120 credits to graduate from Fredonia. And of course, some of the fast facts you definitely want to know about Fredonia and the campus itself. We are at approximately 4,600 students on campus. As you can see, the student-teacher ratio is 14-1, and our diversity is about 30%. So over the last few years, we've always had growing numbers when it comes to minority students coming in from, whether it's from New York City, which we get most of our students from, as well as the Buffalo area, and also around the world. We get students who come from Peru, students who come from Saudi Arabia, students who come from Palestine, students who come from Japan, and all over the world, Cyprus, Turkey, Greece, just to get a feel for what the Fredonia campus is like, and also primarily because they think we're right next to New York City. But they come for our school of music. They come for our education programs. And you can make lifelong friends around the world just having that experience. And so with that, of course, you need 120 credits to graduate from Fredonia. As we talked about the classes in your major, your general education classes, and of course your elective classes. These are classes you're just curious about. You just wanted to try molecular genetics, or you wanted to try acting for non-majors. You have the freedom to put together your schedule because you are in complete control of your schedule from the very beginning to the very end. You pick what class you want to take, you pick what time you want to take it, and so on and so forth. So with that, we are always here to make sure that you are on track, and which is why we're going to assign you an academic advisor. Someone who's going to someone in the field that you're going into who wants to make sure you're taking all the classes that you need to stay on track to fulfill our Fredonia in 4 promise to you. So Fredonia in 4. Fredonia in 4 is our promise, our contract, and our guarantee to you that as long as you follow the advice of your academic advisor, as long as you don't fail any classes or do anything foolish, we promise and guarantee that you will graduate from Fredonia in 4 years. If you don't, we will pay for the rest of your school, okay? Our saying is if you do your part, we'll do ours. And so we're gonna make sure you're taking all the classes you need to get out on time because we want you here. We like having you here, but we don't want you here forever. We want you to graduate from Fredonia as a happy, healthy Fredonian, go out into the workforce, live your life, make a whole bunch of money, and then donate to our alumni association later. See, we're playing a long game here. We're playing a long game. So I'm going to take a stop now and see if anyone has the questions that you want to ask while we're here. Does anyone have any questions at all?
Thank you, Mr. Williamson. I'm sure you're going to get to this, but how would a student enroll?
How would a student enroll? That's a great question. Okay, so our applications open in August. Okay, we can take the common application and the SUNY application. We don't prefer one over the other. It's entirely up to you which one you want. Application fee is usually $50 anyway. But what you would do is you would send us an application. The sooner you apply to us, the sooner you hear back from us as well. So if you apply to us in August, you will hear from us as early as September or October. You'll hear from us actually more so in early October. In that case, when we send you, we can send you an acceptance letter or we can send you information asking for more information. Either way, we want to get that to you and get your financial aid to you all before Christmas. So in that case, it's a very Merry Christmas, or at least you have presents to make you feel better afterwards. No, I'm kidding. But we want to make sure you have as much information well ahead of time so that you still have until May 1st to make your final decision. So if you apply to us in August or September, you'll hear from us in October. And here's what I'm looking for when it comes to you. And keep in mind, for those of you who are in this Buffalo area, I am literally the person that's going to be reading your application. Hi. I want to know if you can be successful in a college campus. Okay, I'm looking at you holistically. So of course I'm going to look at your SAT score. I'm going to look at your GPA. They are not make or break all in and of themselves, but collectively, that with all the other information about you is what I'm going to use to make my decision. So I want to know as much about you as possible. So when you send your letter of recommendation, I want to know what someone has to say about you. Okay, that's important to me. So are you do you have a professor who's willing to vouch for you, saying, you know what, yeah, I really want to speak for this student. This student's great and they work really hard in my class. I want to see that kind of stuff. Don't give me a counselor who doesn't really know you, who sends me a generic letter that basically they write for everybody because We know because we receive all the letters. So give me somebody who truly knows you, and then get into it, okay? Also, I want to know more about you. Tell me something about you that your application can't tell me. That's where your college essay comes into play, okay? I want to know as much about you as possible, so you get to tell me about yourself in your own words, okay? And then, of course, looking at all the other factors, so getting involved in student groups and things you're involved in outside of campus. I want to know, because if you have a 90 GPA in high school, what's going to happen when you get to college? You start getting involved in everything. Are things going to give? So we want to know as much about you as possible. That's what we usually use to determine whether or not we're going to send you an acceptance or not. So please send us as much information as possible. And also that qualifies you for scholarships. If you have an 85 GPA and a 1080 SAT, that puts you in a base range for our academic scholarships. From there, the higher your GPA, the more money we have for you, okay? So that goes from our Fredonia Promise Award all the way up to our Presidential Scholarship, okay? And then, of course, we have the Honors Program, which gives you access to honors housing, honors courses, a $1,500 scholarship, and you get to pick your classes before the seniors. So you get access to the full catalog of classes as well, okay? And so that, of course, is something that is determined by the Honors Committee. The Honors Committee will determine from, of course, your SAT scores, your GPA, and all the other information, who they're going to invite to apply for the honors program. Now, if you are invited to apply for the honors program, you might have to write a little something, but it's well worth it because you have all these other benefits as well, okay? So with that, going on to our next slide. Oh, going back to the previous slide. Okay, yeah, campus life. Okay, so and housing. So we'll go with housing. Okay, when it comes to division sports, we are Division 3 in sports, which means that we do not have any athletic scholarships for you, but you can play. Division sports that span from men's. We have basketball. Actually, on the next slide, we should have all the sports, if I'm not mistaken. We do not. So for men's sports, we have let's see, basketball, cross country, track and field, swimming and diving, hockey, soccer, amongst others. And then for women, we have cheerleading, lacrosse, volleyball, field hockey, to let's see, track and field, cross country, basketball, swimming and diving, amongst others as well. You can do your research. You can take a look at it. It's on our Fredonia webpage as well. But they are all Division 3 sports. So if you're cheerleading, you're going to competitions down in Florida, so on and so forth. If you're playing tennis, Division 3 against other schools in the same realm as well. We also have club sports. So club sports include, like, for example, field hockey or rugby. Or we have some club hockey and soccer teams as well, where you basically join it as if it was a student group and you play against other schools that way as well. And then we have intramural sports. Intramural sports are just sports that you want to take for fun. You want to get involved. So you play intramural basketball, get a team of your friends together and play in a league on campus itself. Dodgeball, flag football, to all kinds of other sports like that as well. So you can get involved athletically as well and have a good time while you're here on the campus. Now, this is the big thing that I always say when it comes to those of you who are coming from the Buffalo area. Do not go home every weekend. That's a big trap that a lot of students go into because they feel homesick, and I understand and I get it. But if you go home every weekend, you're going to miss out on all these other activities that are actually happening. So in that case, your college experience is going to feel more like a glorified version of high school, and we don't want that for you. We want you to get the full experience. So speaking of the full experience, a lot of you aren't planning on commuting from home. Of course not. So you're going to get on campus. You're going to stay on campus to get an on-campus experience. And so the previous slide, we're going to go to, and we're going to talk about your residence halls on campus, okay? We have two main styles of residence halls on campus. You have corridor style and you have suite style residence halls. Corridor is just how you see it in the movies. Long hallways, 2 rooms side by side, community bathroom in the middle. Suite, there's an entire section of the building cut off for you and 7 other suite mates. You 8 will share 1 common room. You 8 will share 1 bathroom. One doesn't cost more than the other. They're both exactly the same in price, and they are both fully accessible to you all as incoming freshmen. So it is up to you and your personal preference which one you want. So are you a people person where you can go down the long hallway and make a whole bunch of friends? Or would you not like to meet people at all? You can go to corridor style, or if you like to have a tight-knit group of people that you see every day, you can do suite style and share a living room with them, and so on and so forth. Me personally, I'm quite partial to the suites, primarily because in my experience, I like knowing the people who are around me, and also like having our own private living room slash common room area as well, where we could all go in there and watch sports. We could watch the Bills play and things like that. In the suite that I stayed in, I had, we had a Jets fan, a Miami Dolphins fan, and of course the rest of us were all Bills fans, and it was pretty competitive and a lot of fun. So, you know, it's entirely up to you which one you want. Okay. Your housing also, you're going to be able to get into your housing using your Fredonia ID card or a Fred card. Okay, it's gonna have your picture on it, your name on it, and it's only gonna allow you into your building. Okay. We'll not allow you into anyone else's building, and it will not allow anyone else into yours. So in that case, we don't want anyone else walking in your building who doesn't live there, because you live there. You place to relay your head. So we're all about safety here on campus about that. Okay. After 9 o'clock, if you have any guests over, you must bring them down to the front desk, and they must sign in with photo ID. So they must have valid photo ID, and they must be at least 17 years of age. And then from there, you take them back up, and you must escort them around the building wherever they go at all times. We will not have any unescorted people in our residence halls at all. Okay, your laundry is free on campus. We have a program called Laundry View. You can pull up on your computer a machine, or pull up a diagram of which machines are in use, which ones are free, how much time is left on each, and the machine will text you when it's done as well. Okay, and you'll get a feel for that. You get a feel for that once you get on campus itself. And also, if you're able to get on campus and do a walking tour after the pandemic has ended, of course, then I encourage you to do that, because then you get to see the campus for yourself. And I always say it's not what you expect, it's what you inspect. So if you get a chance, see the campus for yourself and get a feel for it. That being said, we do have a virtual tour if you wanted to take it. Our virtual tour, our Fredonia virtual tour, is on our Fredonia webpage. So you can go to fredonia.edu, click on admissions, and you click virtual tour. You can put on your VR headset and walk around the campus as much as you want and get a feel for that, as well as pictures and breakdowns of how things go. Okay. Any questions about anything so far? Any other questions that have come up?
Yes, Mr. Williamson, can you talk to us about deadlines and application fees, please?
Okay. So the application fee for Fredonia is $50. Our application deadline is May 1st. So if you're applying to campus, you want to send your application in before May 1st, but also, funny enough, our deposit deadline is also May 1st. For those of you who are seniors this year, our deposit deadline is June 1st. So you have a little more extra time because of this COVID-19 pandemic situation. So we want to make sure that you have enough time to really weigh your options to get all your ducks in a row. Now, when it comes to your deadlines, when it comes to your application deadline, like I said, the sooner you apply to us, the sooner you hear back from us. Okay. Same thing that goes with the FAFSA. If you fill out your FAFSA, which should open around October, early October, the sooner you apply for the FAFSA and you've already applied to us, you received a letter from us, you're going to be in our first wave of not only acceptance letters, but our first wave of financial aid packages as well. Okay. And basically what the FAFSA is meant to do is they take a snapshot of your family's finances and they determine how much money they think your family could contribute to you going to college, and they try to fill in a blank with what they have. Okay. Obviously you have other resources, like, for example, Say Yes, the Say Yes scholarship. And of course, for those of you who are slightly outside of the Buffalo area, maybe the Excelsior Scholarship as well. All of these things are available to you all, but our financial aid office is also available for you. So if you need to fill out your FAFSA and you want to use your tax information, you're not quite sure how to do it, you can always give our financial aid office a call. They will walk you through the FAFSA and help you fill it out. Or if you want to come fill it out on the campus, you can do that. And we'll walk you through it there as well. We want to make sure you have all the resources you need to get that stuff done. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Williamson. So you're saying it's not too late to apply to Fredonia?
No, it's not. It is not too late to apply to Fredonia. If you want to send in a last minute application, feel free to shoot it over to us, but also you want to let me know as soon as possible. So the best way to reach me, I'm going to tell you my information, but it's also going to pop up at the end of the PowerPoint slide as well. Best way to reach me is to email me at Brandon, BRANDON, at fredonia.edu. Okay, shoot me an email so that I know to expect your application. And then when it pops in, I can review it and we can go from there. So yes, we are still accepting any applications that you're interested in. And there it is. We are still accepting your applications. If you want to send, if you're sending them in, just let me know ahead of time. And of course, my cell phone number. This is the best way to reach me as well, because our cell phones are always with us. Mine is right here at my hip top, which is right here. And my phone number is area code 716-785-4758. You can shoot me a phone call, or better yet, you can text me. And if you send me a text with your question or anything like that, I can answer your question as they pop in, or in proper texting etiquette when I feel like it. So in that case, you definitely want to utilize these things, especially while we're working from home, because this is primarily what we're looking at. We're looking at our emails, we're looking at our text messages, and we're taking advantage of these things while we're here, okay? Now going into, really quickly going into safety, and there's some other things about campus itself. Safety, we have university police who are New York State trained state troopers who all also have college degrees. So they know what it's like to be a college student. They've been in your shoes, but their main priority is to make sure that you are safe while you're here on campus, okay? So we have cameras all around the campus itself. We also have an app on your phone so you can call, or you can press the button and call the university police over to yourself. If you're walking, running, jogging through the woods or anything like that, and you don't feel safe, you can call them. They'll escort you back to wherever you want to go. And they also sponsor our Escort Bus, which is a bus that transports you anywhere on campus to anywhere else you want to go on campus. And that's free for you. Their phone number's on the side. They'll pick you up from the parking lot, or if you're doing a late night study session at the library, you don't want to walk back home to your residence hall, you don't want to walk back to your residence hall in the snow, you can press the button, you can call them. They will come and pick you up in the escort van and drop you off right at your front door. Okay, you have that available to you as well. Okay. Now, for those of you who are going into music education, or those who are going to education or business, you are going to go through our experiential learning process. So you're going to do an internship. Okay. Our internships are not just restricted to what we have on campus, but for you, music education or education, you're going to get your hands-on experience working in the classroom, getting your teaching assistantship. For business, in the world where you need a job to get experience, where you need experience to get a job, this is how you get your foot in the door and build up your resume and get your hands-on experience as well when it comes to your application. So with that, we definitely want you to get involved with internships early, but the rest of you are open to internships as well. We're not just restricted to the ones on campus. So as I said, I graduated from Fredonia. My first internship, and I was a theater major, my first internship was at the Indiana Jones stunt show at Walt Disney World. And my second one was here in the admissions office. So you can imagine the range of the different types of internships that we have available for you, okay? Internships and also study abroad opportunities. So we have something called the Power of 64. So we can send you to any country that we or any of the 64 SUNY schools are going to through our program with their students. It gives you access to about 700 programs in about 69 different countries and Antarctica, if you want us to go to Antarctica. Okay, so you have that available for you as well. In our International Education Office, we have scholarships available, and usually your financial aid will change a little bit, but your tuition stays the same, but your room, board, food, and fees change depending on what country you go to. Some countries will be cheaper, some countries will be more expensive in that case. Okay? All right, I saw a couple of questions. I'm gonna, so we got them here, yeah. So if you're a high school junior, you want to apply to us, as I said before, you want to apply to us as early as possible. So if you can send your application in probably around August or September, I would definitely encourage you to do that just to get it out of the way, because I know how the anxiety can go. But of course, the biggest thing, of course, is making sure you can get your SATs, making sure you get your ACT scores and things like that. We will wait on that stuff. But if you send your application in early enough, then we can send you updates on things that are relevant and prevalent to you all when it comes to you applying and getting accepted and so on and so forth. So the sooner you apply, the sooner you hear from us. So if you apply to us in August or September, you will hear from us probably in September going into October. You can be accepted as early October on campus. Okay, so you definitely want to get involved, and you definitely want to get on that as soon as possible. Okay, also, what we really came here to talk about today, food, right? Yeah, because I know Buffalo is a great place to eat. So you're going to get a chance to eat here in Fredonia as well. We have the Cranston Marche Dining Hall, which is our main dining hall on campus. It's all you can eat. So you walk in, you swipe your card, and you walk in, and it's basically, it's kind of like the food section of a Wegmans. So you walk in, there's a pasta station here. So there's the Alfredo marinara, your protein, your pasta, your veggies. You tell them what you want, they'll make it right there in front of you, and things like that. Okay, on the right side we have a salad bar, a fruit salad bar, a sandwich bar, a dessert bar, and a taco bar. So you can build all that stuff up on your own if you want to. We also have the grill. We have a chicken, steak, and fish. You can build that up however you want as well. They will make it for you, grill things right there for you. We have pizza, because we're a college campus and we're always going to have pizza available for you. Also along the back wall, we have cereal, because cereal is a 24-hour meal. And of course, whatever our entree is for the day as well, which you will know on the bulletin board out in the front as well. So we have that, as well as an ice cream sundae bar with Oreos, Reese's, gummy worms, and stuff like that. You can feel terrible about yourself later as well. And in the mornings, that ice cream sundae bar turns into a waffle bar as well. Okay. So with that, also we have, let's see, along with that, we have the Willie C's, which is our food court downstairs in the Williams Center. That's pretty much a la carte at this point, but it's similar to a mall food court minus the brand name. So that's where you can get your fried foods like pizza, because once again, pizza is always available, to chicken wings, chicken fingers, to burgers, to fries, to sushi, to stir fry, to yogurt, to whatever piques your interest there. We also have El Diablo Azul, which is our version of Chipotle on campus. So you can get that on campus right there next door, as well as a Starbucks and a Tim Hortons on campus, and 6 FSA cafes in our academic buildings as well. So you have no shortage of access to food while you're there on campus. And so you definitely want to take advantage of that. We also have vegetarian and vegan options and gluten-free options and things like that as well. Okay, now we have, for those of you, I have a question here that says, if you're coming in with an IEP, we do have resources for that in our DSS office, our Student Disability Student Services office. They will work with you to figure out what we can do for your IEP. If you're a state, obviously we're a state university, so in a sense, we are required to be able to have the resources to handle and work with whatever you have within within reason itself. And so you will work directly with our learning center on campus, and they will work with you to put together a program, put together a plan that fits specifically for you. All right, so we want to make sure that you have all the tools and resources you need to be successful while you're here. Okay, any questions about anything I've said so far?
Yes, Mr. Williamson, we have one more. Can you talk about the cost of dorms?
Yes. Okay. So the cost of your residence hall. So when it comes to, of course, our tuition, of course, we are SUNY, so our tuition is the same, which is $70.70, so $7,070 a year. If you add on top of that room, board, food, and fees, and things like that, that's going to bring you up to just over $21,000 a year, $21,547, and more accurately. So your room itself is going to be $7,600. And of course, that is going to be for a double room. If you wanted to, you can pay for a single, and you can pay a little bit more for that. If you didn't want to, then double room is usually the way to go. Now, this is also a really good thing that I want to highlight, which is when it comes to a lot of the scholarships that are available, for example, SAS and Excelsior, a lot of that stuff goes to help out your tuition. Our scholarships will go towards your room, board, food, and fees, and things like that. So we don't give you money that New York State was going to give you anyway, or that SAS was going to give you anyway. And so in that case, we're going to work with you to try to pay off and help you with that room. But also another thing that can help you pay off that room is also becoming an RA. RA is a resident assistant, and that's basically someone who you get your own room and is paid for, but you also get paid because it is a job. You're only responsible for everyone else in your wing. And so in that case, you can get a job as an RA after your first year, and that will save you a lot of money also on the on-campus experience as well. Okay, and then of course, food itself is about $5,000 a year meal plan, $5,230 for your meal plan. That's going to be your biggest meal plan, and then as the time progresses, you can lower your meal plan to whatever fits you as well. So you can start with the 17 meals a week and $250 in points. You can drop it down to however many meals a week you need, or how many points you need. So the meals, basically, if you were talking about meals, you go to the dining hall, you swipe your card, it takes one meal off, and you walk in, it's all you can eat. Or if you go to the food court or the Starbucks, it's worth about $7.50. Okay, and then you pay for it there. And then points act as cash on campus for food. So if you, let's say you wanted to go to, I don't know, Starbucks, and I'm not too familiar with what Starbucks serves. So let's say you wanted to get I don't know, a grande vanilla bean frappuccino with caramel drizzle for $3.50. You can use your points to pay for that instead of using a meal for that, okay? Your points roll over to the next semester, but not the next year. So your points, if you have $250 in points and you use $150 in your points, you come back the next semester with $350 in points, all of which, if you don't use them, you lose them. Okay, and then your meals, they replenish at the beginning of each week. So come Saturday night, if you have 5 meals left on Sunday morning, you lose those 5 meals and you start with 17 again. Okay, so we make sure that you're well fed while you're here on campus. You will not need all of them, but it's good to get involved in it. Okay, now other things, other resources. Yep.
Hi, Mr. Williamson. One
Hey.
question. Can you talk a little bit about the library? We have someone in the audience that wants to hear more about the size and what it offers.
Okay, so we have a huge library. It's called the Reed Library, and it's in McEwen Hall, and it is 4 stories that include not only, of course, the stacks themselves. We have a performance area on one side. We have a music library on the 2nd floor, and then on the 4th floor we have our learning center. The learning center is when you can get free tutoring for any subject that you need, whether it's a core subject or whether it's a subject within your major itself. We have tutoring available in the library. If you wanted to work there, you could as well and become a tutor. But yes, we have, it's a massive library that has an entire study nook along the back wall. So if you want to disappear and focus and study, you can. We also have group work rooms. So if you're doing group projects and you need a place to meet, we have rooms like that as available. You can sign out and you can work in there as well. Of course, we have our circulation stacks as well, where you can get newspapers from all the way back to when Fredonia first opened, as well as our circulation desk. So our circulation desk, we have our book loan program where you can actually get any book loaned to the campus within 24 hours that you can come and read. So if you need a book for school, you need a book that you need to read, and we can request it. Or if you want to read a book for fun, you can use our interlibrary book loan, and you can get any book that should be shipped to us within 24 hours, at the latest 48. Okay, so you have that available in our library itself. And of course, as I said before, there's also performance space as well. So you might find a poetry slam going on there, or you might find a music kind of thing going on the far side. We do not have a quiet library. On the additional floors, the 2nd and 3rd and 4th floors are quieter, but the 1st floor is usually pretty active with events and things like that happen as well. We also have a 3-dimensional printer. So students who learn how to do 3D printing in a library, you can print your own 3D things as well. So you have plenty to get involved in while you're there. And also the library holds our registrar's office. The registrar's office is where you can change your classes, you can change your major, and you can take advantage of your entire academic experience. Also, you can work with academic advising, who also work within the registrar's office as well. Okay? Any other questions?
I think we are all caught up for now. One last thing I want to ask, and you can mention this towards the end, is what advice would you give for high school seniors right now?
Gotcha. Okay, so high school seniors, listen, I know that this has been a really tough end of the year. We empathize, we feel for you, and we want to do everything in our power to try to, we can't make up for it, but we do want to at least try to give you a good college experience when you first get to college. So on a quick side note, Fredonia, we are actually working on a freshman first year prom, so that you can still get that kind of prom experience. You can come out and you can, although you won't be doing it with all your high school friends, you'll be able to do it with the new college friends that you meet when you first come on campus, and you get that experience. We know that you missed out on a lot in your senior year, and I want to say the tough thing for you is, try to keep your head up about it. And it's okay. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be frustrated. It's absolutely valid and absolutely okay. And we get it. We understand. So we're here to listen. We're here to help make that easier for you. But also, this is crunch time for colleges as well. This is crunch time for us to try to keep in touch with you. So use your resources. Use us. Call us. If you have counselors, if you're looking at other schools, call the counselors. Keep in touch with them. keep us in the loop to let us know, like, how you're feeling. We can talk to you about anything that you want. That's what we're here for. And also in the same sense, when it comes to your paying deposits and things like that, it's okay to really weigh your options. It's okay to take your time and really get a feel for it. Now, some of the benefits of paying your deposits in some of the schools is that it gives you access to the keys of the kingdom. So, for example, in Fredonia, we have, when our students who paid the deposit are now already selecting roommates. We're going to talk about roommate selection in a minute. They're already selecting roommates and housing, as well as selecting courses and things like that, and getting that stuff out of the way early so that they can get first dibs on a lot of that stuff. But the primary thing is to make sure that not only are you in the right space, but you have all the resources you need to get and finish up your senior year, and then we'll think about college. So our deadline has moved to June 1st. Our deposit deadline has moved to June 1st. You send your application in late June 1st. Get that stuff in as early as possible, but really weigh your options and really see what's out there, and make sure that you take care of yourself while you're here. So that's the advice I would give seniors. Also, weigh your financial aid options as well. Just because you got one financial aid package doesn't mean that you don't get a chance to finagle money out of financial aid offices. That's what they're there for. Give them a call, talk to them, see what they can do to readjust your package, and look into options. Also, fastweb.com. It is a website where it's a database of scholarships you can definitely take a look at as well. And usually what happens is you fill out a profile, then they just email you scholarships. Take a look at that as well. Juniors, take a look at that now. They might have some for juniors as well that you can start looking at and filling out going into your senior year as well. So look into all that stuff. We want you to, because we're in a strange time. Everybody's staying home. You're probably ready to fight your brothers and sisters. Don't do it. But you definitely want to, take that attention, take that energy, and put it towards, something that you're passionate about. And that's going to be, what you plan on studying in college, and so on and so forth. Also, if you're undecided, it's absolutely okay to be undecided. Okay. Contrary to popular belief, you don't actually have to know exactly what you want to study before you come into college. You can come in undecided, especially here. You work with an academic advising program. We'll put you through a couple of classes that might pique your interest until we find out what's a good fit for you. So if you are undecided and you're weighing your college options, look at all the colleges that have all of the things that you're considering, and consider that as one of your top colleges. Just in case you do change your mind from one major to another, we want to make sure that you have all the resources and things that you need. Okay. One thing I do want to talk about, though, for those of you who plan on bringing a car to campus, you can absolutely bring your car on campus. We do not charge you for parking. We do not charge you for registration or anything like that. It's absolutely free. So bring your car, park it, drive it however you want. You're not likely going to drive your car around the campus itself because it's not designed that way, but you'll probably walk from one place to campus to one side of campus to the other. You'll probably get there in about 10 minutes, 12 in the snow, because, it takes smaller steps. But with that, you can absolutely bring a car. They're absolutely free. The car's not free, but you can bring the car for free, and the registration, everything is free. So you can do that. You can drive it around Fredonia itself, drive to Walmart, drive to the plazas, or you can drive down to Dunkirk and go to the pier, to the boardwalk, go walk along the boardwalk, go to the park, and eat some food and so on and so forth. You have that available for you. But we don't necessarily need a car on campus. We have a bus that will transport you around the entire village of Fredonia. So it'll pick you up on campus, drop you off take you to downtown Fredonia, to the Walmart Plaza, to the TJ Maxx Plaza, to the Tops Plaza, to the DNF Plaza, and back here on campus. It runs every 40 minutes, and that's absolutely free for you all. And by free, I mean, it's included in your fees, so you may as well use it. Okay, you have that available. Also, we have a bus that will transport you from the Fredonia campus to the Buffalo Greyhound station and the Buffalo Amtrak station as well. So for those of you who are coming from the Buffalo area, you want to find out how to get back and forth to and from Fredonia, we have a bus that will pick you up from the Buffalo Greyhound station and bring you out to Fredonia, drop you off right there in the middle of campus at the Williams Center. That is $6.20 one way, $11.80 round trip. Okay. So in that case, if you do end up going home for one weekend out of the year or one weekend out of the month, then you can go home and you can take the bus home and then take the bus home from there, or take the train, or however you get home from there. Okay. So you have that available to you as well for transportation. All right, and of course, for the big holidays, we do charter a bus that would pick students up and drop them off in Middletown, Tarrytown, New York City, and Long Island for the big holidays as well. If you wanted to take a trip out to New York City, for example, for spring break or for Thanksgiving break, because you have family out there in Long Island or something along those lines as well. Okay, any questions about anything else so far?
Thank you, Mr. Williamson. So we just have about 15 minutes left. I just have someone from the audience that must have missed the part about the clubs. If you could just mention a few of those clubs again,
Oh, yeah.
the popular ones, and then we can wrap it up. Thank you.
Absolutely. So when it comes to the student clubs, like I said, we have over 180 student groups that span from a cappella singing groups. If you're a singer, you can get involved in that, to our PAC Performing Arts Company, which is our student-run theater company, orchestras, which is our student-run dance company, all the way up to all the little smaller things that you might get involved in, like, for example, the Gamers Guild, where they play all types of different board games, the Dungeons and Dragons, and so on and so forth. We also have a Dungeons and Dragons club, also a Harry Potter club, as well as a Quidditch team on campus as well. So they play Quidditch on campus against other schools with broomsticks, capes, and so on and so forth. You can get involved in that kind of stuff. Our LARPing, live action role playing with the foam shields and swords. We have what do they call it? Esports. We have an Esports Club and Esports Lounge on campus as well. So for those of you who play Rainbow Six, those of you who play Super Smash Brothers, first of all, you don't want these hands of Super Smash Brothers. But anyway, playing Super Smash Brothers, playing Rainbow Six, playing Fortnite, all those different video games, we have an Esports Lounge. But you can also do that in your residence hall as well. We have great Wi-Fi and great direct internet as well. So it's obviously really fast, and you can play online separately, or you can join the Esports Club and play as a group. And you do play other schools, we do play other organizations, and you get involved in tournaments and things like that. So you can get involved in that kind of stuff that you can do as well. Let's see, we already talked about our Days of Our Lives Club, which is where they record soap operas throughout the week and then watch them in a marathon on Saturdays. So if there's something you're interested in, odds are we probably have it as a group. If not, you can create it as a group as well. You're paying the student activities fee, so you get to choose the activities you get involved in. And the easiest way to get involved in those things is we actually on the second Wednesday of you being on campus, we have something called Activities Night, where we line up every single student group, whether it's from the smaller groups to the constituted to the big group, like the cultural groups, like the Black Student Union, Latinos Unidos, Pride Alliance, to the Fredonia Feminists and the Hillel Jewish Student Union, to our National Native American Student Union, all the way up to our fraternities and sororities, which are also considered student clubs or student groups on campus. They all line up on the front lawn, and you can just walk through and see whatever piques your interest. Sign up for however many or however few activities or things you want to get involved in right there on campus. So you can do that. You can sign up for that stuff immediately. I will tell you, it will teach you balance. Also, a lot of our majors have student groups attached to them as well. So for example, when I first started, I was a music therapy major. And I switched over to theater my second semester junior year. But when I was there, I was the vice president of the Music Therapy Club. I was the vice president of the Black Student Union. I was also the treasurer of the Improv Society, and so on and so forth. Things you get involved in really quickly. So it's really easy to get involved. It's easy to build the kind of community that you want to build while you're there. And that's the most important thing. It's on you to work out and connect with people and build the community that you're looking for. Okay. I always say, if you're bored while you're in Fredonia, it's because you're boring. Okay, any other questions?
What a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much, Mr. Williamson. So we will pass your information along for anyone who is looking for more questions about admissions or looking to enroll. So thank you very much. And we appreciate that wonderful presentation about Fredonia.
Well, yeah, I'm glad to do it. I'm happy to serve. And of course, anytime you ever need me, you have my contact information. It's probably going to pop up on the screen any second now. But you can definitely reach out to me and ask me any questions you can. I am here in Buffalo as well. So once this pandemic is over, I will be hosting days where I'll be meeting people at Spot. And we can do a one-on-one conversation. You can ask me questions there as well. But yeah, ultimately the biggest selling point that I have as Fredonia is not only location, because like I said, we're only 45 minutes away, but also your college experience. You want to go someplace where you're going to get a good creative college experience that you can recreate and build yourself without being stuck in the hustle and bustle of being home or being super far away, so you're homesick. In a sense, you get the best of both worlds while you're here. So take advantage of it. Let's talk more about it. And I hope to see you all on the campus sooner than later. Hopefully, if we are able to do it, maybe another bus trip coming up soon.
Thank you. And if you enjoyed Brandon's presentation today, he will be on our virtual Saturday Academy, May 16th, taking us through YouTube University. So stay tuned for that as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we will be back tomorrow with Madai and Zubel. So please tune in, invite your family and your friends. As always, we are here for you, open for everyone, and we are really looking forward to finishing off this week strong. There will be a part 2 to this as well. So please drop us whatever university or college you would like to see in part 2 coming to you in June. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.